So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a classic garage bass and a bassline variation of the same patch. So the first part of the video will be very similar to my previous grind bass tutorial. However, these sounds are a little bit more complex. So first, I'm going to show you how to make the garage inspired sound, and then I'm going to show you how to tweak it so that it can also work in a bassline context. So this is both of the basses. But we'll start with all the MIDI notes on one channel. I'll just drag this MIDI down to a new track that has nothing on it, and I will instantiate Serum. Again, this is another square wave based sound, so basic mini square, down 2 octaves. You want to increase the unison to about 7. Increase the attack, because this sound sort of fades in a little bit, and then the release a little bit as well. Yeah, you want to make it mono because it's a bass sound, and you can add a little bit of glide too, if you like. You can then start filtering the sound, so turn the filter on. What we want to do is modulate the filter cutoff with an LFO. So LFO 1, you want to put it onto envelope mode, so it only triggers once per MIDI note, and then you can drag it across to the filter cutoff. And then this is kind of a taste thing. I'm just going to tweak this. And yeah, so that is essentially the basic sound. Now I'm going to start to process it. Those of you who've seen my previous videos will kind of be familiar with how I approach this. So duplicate it in the channel. We have a sub layer, and this will just be a sine wave. And I'm now going to split the bands using EQ3. So hundreds, and this one is going to be 700s. Drag that in. Sub layer, also rename this to top. Oops. Top. And then duplicate this with Control or Command drag. Group this to itself. Duplicate this. This is the mid. This is the high. And then you can select the band you want. Going back to the sub. Pretty much always compress them. Pre-fader, or sorry, pre-EQ. Just gives it more of a kind of consistent feel. You can hear. We can now start to add overdrive to the higher bands. With this particular patch, I usually keep it quite subtle. So we can add some EQ now, just to take out the rumble. I also tend to mono below 2K, just so the stereo version and the mono version sound a little bit more similar, and it basically translates better in a club. We can also go back and listen to it in context as well. Sometimes if you want a little bit deeper, you can add an auto filter too. Kind of like it how it is there, it's just a bit more gritty. I've got some reverb set up on the send too, so obviously helps it sound like it's actually in space. So this is the garage sound done. To tweak it, what you need to do is essentially use frequency modulation. So what we can do is turn oscillator B on, turn the level all the way down, and then on oscillator A, you can go to FM from B. Again, you can use, generally I use a square wave for this. You can use other shapes as well. And then you can start to add the FM and you'll start to hear the effect of it. What I usually do as well is I take the oscillator B up, usually about 3 octaves, I think. You can also do tunes as well if you want a slightly kind of more wild sounds. Yeah, and that's it basically. You can see in this example, I've sort of used the first sound for the first note, and then I've sort of used the more kind of the FM sound for the other notes. Yeah, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. My preset pack is available below the video. As always, the presets for this tutorial are available in the description below the video. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.